All right, so you're gonna get 3 videos today. I just have to do it. Um, and I'm starting with the third video that I was gonna do first. Um, Someone emailed me this. Trish, shout out to Trish. I've actually, I think I went and watched this a while back. It's a 1981 movie. I can't remember when I watched this, but it was not that long ago because I kept hearing about it. I'm like, I think I want to see that because there were so many interesting connections to the future that's happening right now. And you know how the club loves to put stuff in your face. And she says, hey, I was, watched the X-22 report today, and they mentioned a movie from 1981 called Rollover. That is the movie we're talking about. Saudi Arabia pulls out of American interests and results in a crash. Just saw the news, and the Senate just voted to override Obama's 9/11 bill. Remember, he vetoed? That was going to let the U.S. family sue Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia said, if you do that, we will dump our treasuries and all of our U.S. assets. Obama vetoed it. But I said this, and remember, I talked about the other movie. And she says, thanks to you, I now pay attention when someone mentions movies. Saudi did threaten to pull out if the suits were allowed, the lawsuits. Here we go. Hey, Trish, step in my office. Why, I'm fired? No, you're not fired. You're hired. Good call. Good catch. So I did see that movie. It was a while back. But I talked to you guys about the other movie, Money Monster, that I saw a few months ago. Like literally, maybe 2 or 3 months ago at Max. And I set myself. Matter of fact, let me see if I can just pull this old puppy up. Allow myself to introduce myself. Calendar. Hidden symbolism in movie, Money Monster. So, I'll make sure Okay, so check this out. I'm just going to show you the screenshot. So this is from the movie Money Monster. This is fairly early in the movie. Ibis. Ibis is like this Wall Street firm, whatever, company. And if you'll notice, there's a nice, pretty swan. Now, those numbers, that lettering is black. So we have a black swan, as in Black Swan event, as in Saudi Arabia dumps their treasuries and holdings, causing a black swan event that can be blamed on them. So we have a black swan, Ibis, and then underneath there, the time. I thought the time was fascinating to me at the time, which was 3 months ago. 9/23, huh? September 23rd is what went into my mind. Okay, so I sent myself this in a calendar reminder. And then later on in the movie, I talked about this the other day. Later on in the movie, this comes up. The big shot who works at Ibis, the big Wall Street CEO, N777 LRX, or excuse me, LRK. Now, I wasn't sure. I did a little alphabet thing here, which you can see right here. The numbers on the plane, N, L, R, K, whatever. N, L, R, K. And I just did the alphabet. It's a 14, a 12, an 18, 11. And then I broke those down. 1 plus 4 is 5. 1 plus 2 is 3. 1 plus 8 is 9. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So we do have something interesting. Now, I don't know exactly what the club meant by this, but I think I got an idea. So first, let's look at my analysis. The numbers on the plane, on the alphabet, are 14, 12, 18, and 11 right here. So again, I broke these numbers 1 and 4, 1 and 2, 1 and 8, 1 and 11. That's where I got these numbers, 5, 3, 9, 2. So let's look at this first picture again. 5, 3, a 9, and a 2. What are the chances, right? This might be meaningless to the average person, but to the club knows exactly what this means. And we have this lucky 7 stuff, right? The lucky 7s. Go back to that plane picture. N, 7, 7, 7. Triple sevens, winner. What is the significance of the 7s? Well, you already know, but in case there's new subscribers, and there always is every day, a few more new people join the JSNIP4 network, if you will. So to catch these people up, the club puts stuff in movies. They've been doing it for a very long time. It's like they have this thing that they have to do it. They have to tell the people what they're going to do to them before they do it, and then they can go ahead and do it. I don't know what the hell it is, some kind of esoteric, whatever, belief system they have. That's what they have to do for some reason. Lindsey Williams said years ago that they do that and to pay attention. And I really started paying attention when he said it. And I've seen so many movies. In the latest bombing nonsense, pipe bombs, New York, New Jersey. Really? It was in a new game called the Tom Clancy's the something. What the hell is that game called? You know, virus outbreak, New York City. You got to survive with other people. And surviving with other people in the game, of course, they're in Chelsea, New York, which is what we kept hearing about, this pipe bomb, Chelsea, New York. And there's a bomb. And when they look at the map in the game and the thing that happened in real life, oh my God, there's like a match. Oh, shocking. How about the Batman? Sandy Hook school shooting. A lot of people, that never happened. It's fake. The FBI agent, he's actually the same as the father that lost the kid. They changed his name. If you want to learn more about that, watch the documentary. We need to talk about Sandy Hook. You can watch the whole thing. It's phenomenal. But that Sandy Hook was in the Batman movie map. Remember? With the big X or whatever around it. Sandy Hook. Again, it's in your face. So aside from that, back onto the topic here. That movie from 1981 said that the Saudis Black Swan event, dump their holdings, U.S. Treasuries, and it caused a massive stock market crash. So I told you the other day, timing is everything and nothing happens by chance. So when you heard the Congress got together in a bipartisan deal, extremely rare, to vote this bill, to pass this law, this bill into legislation, to turn it into law, and President Obama will get this bill, and if it goes through and he signs it, the Saudis can be sued now by the families and victims of 9/11. Now let's think about this for a second. How long ago was 9/11? It was 15 years ago. 15 years ago. These 28 pages have been classified the entire time, and they've been known about for at least 3 or 4 years now. Why didn't they unclassify the pages? Why is it news all of a sudden recently? And now these 28 pages link Saudi Arabia, which means it's always linked Saudi Arabia for the last 15 years. We're not going to look into it. It's classified. George Bush classified it. Obama kept it classified. And now all of a sudden, you know what? Let's change that. Let's implicate Saudi Arabia all of a sudden. So 923 in the movie. Pretty important for some reason, huh? What happened on 9/23/2016? That bill in the House and Senate passed it unbelievably. You would have thought they were passing a bill to give themselves a monster raise. So many people were in agreement. And then Obama got it and said, well, you know, I said I was going to veto this, so I'm going to veto it. And he vetoed it on 9/23/2016. Had he not vetoed it, it would have became law then. On the date in this stupid Wall Street movie with a black swan and what? Not to be bothered, you know, not to be not concerned all of a sudden, but he vetoed it. Oh no! So now what? It's not going to happen. Jay Snip, whoa! Hold the phone. Have you been paying attention today? Have you been paying attention today? 9/28/2016. The House sent. Excuse me. Back up a little bit. In a 97-1 vote, 97-1, the Senate acted decisively Wednesday to override President Barack Obama's veto of the September 11th legislation that would allow families of victims to sue Saudi Arabia for the kingdom's alleged backing of the hijackers. Isn't that the same regime that's been backing Hillary financially? Oh, let's not talk about that. The House and Senate voted Wednesday, both. Both voted. In the House, where are we at down here? The House voted later 348 to 77. 348 to 77. Well above the 2/3 majority needed for a veto-proof passing of that legislation. The final vote tally in the Senate, of course, was 97 to 1, with Minority Leader, you guessed it, Harry Reid, cast the lone dissenting vote. Quote, in our polarized politics of today, this is pretty much close to a miraculous occurrence, Senator John Cornyn said. Democrats and Republicans in both chambers agreed, he said, that the bill gives the victims of the terrorist attack on our own soil an opportunity to seek the justice they deserve. Well, that's funny, guys, Congress members. You just chose this interesting date to get this stuff going that's been in these movies, punching us in the face, along with the 777. What's the importance of the sevens? Jay Snip, what is the 7? Oh, I don't know. Last year was an extremely occult occurrence of these 4 blood moons with 2 super eclipses in the middle. It's a thing that happens God knows how long. You know, everybody on this planet will be long dead before the next one happens, and so will many of our family members, and family tree going up into the future for a good long while before it happens again. So it's quite rare, and the elite love these events. They're very occult. And we have a what is known as Shemitah, 7-year cycle, Shemitah, which was September. Matter of fact, I don't know if the exact date was also September 23rd of last year, but it was thereabouts. And we were expecting, we've seen past times where the old 7-year Shemitah cycle has kicked in religiously, and there's all kinds of problems. Countries have fallen, empires have fallen, markets crashing, you name it. When this one went around, we were all waiting. Nothing really seemed to happen too much. Then we had a pretty bad start towards the end of the year of 2015, and then into 2016, markets weren't looking good. A lot of things were not looking too good. So it's like, okay, maybe there's a little slight delay of the Shemitah because it's not always perfect on the day, but usually it actually is. And then the market started getting crappier up, and then they, governments, the club, let's pump them back up again. Oh, nothing to see here. Everything's fine. Bad news, markets rally. Good news, markets rally. No news, markets rally. Whatever. However, exactly 1 year later from the Shemitah, which is the 7-year cycle, is now, in this particular time frame, this one happens to be a Jubilee year. So the Shemitah cycle ends. It started in last year, September, and ends. Literally like right now, October 1st-ish is when it ends. Somewhere around there anyways. I haven't looked at the dates in a while, but it's, again, in a matter of days, it's here. So, a Jubilee year. And I just did a video, you saw it, where this supposed Rothschild spokesperson who comes out and talks stuff and seems to have a good track record used that specific word about this being a Jubilee debt year or something like that. What is he saying? Well, I don't know, but I got a sneaky suspicion Saudi Arabia is going to do what they said they were going to do. We're going to dump those treasuries and those American assets because you're allowing the people to sue us. Again, the Congress is doing this. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly the timing. This is not some kind of thing where they just decided recently, let's get together and be good people and pass this for the family. This has nothing to do with that. This has something to do with New World Order plans. And if they can make themselves look good, we're doing this for the people. Perfectly timed with this stuff and the stuff in the movies and all that. Come on. I'm raising the BS flag on that. This was planned to take place. It was in your face in the damn movies. This date. And Obama vetoed it, and we just passed. We came together, bipartisanship, the Dems and the Repubs, for the families. We always like to help American citizens every chance we get. Oh, wait a minute. No, we actually like to screw them, shove a knife in their back and twist it. But this time's different. We want to work, as you can see, 97 to 1 and 348 to 77. We got a veto-proof majority. This will be law. So I'm looking at the old calendar, 9/28, 9/29, 9/30, October 1st. What? Oh, Saudi Arabia, what's going on? Where's that black swan? Breaking news today, Saudi Arabia has made good on the threat that they would, let me get my proper posture. Anderson Cooper here, Saudi Arabia has made good on the promise, or should I say threat, that they said a while back if we pass this law to allow them to be sued for the 9/11 victims to sue them over 9/11. They are dumping, appears they had more than what we thought they had, and it's causing a really bad day on Wall Street. The movie was already in there, 1981. They already showed you how they were going to do it. And it was Saudi Arabia in the movie, and they were dumping U.S. assets in the movie, and then over 30 years later, it actually happens? What? Right. Because this is their world, this is their game, you just live in it. This is their play, it's their movie, and they're playing the movie. You can't stop the movie. You can actually interact a little bit. But generally speaking, the movie's going to play with the same beginning, same middle, and same end that they have planned. And people like, me and some others out there, some of you guys who pay attention to this weird stuff. Oh, that's conspiracy. That's stupid. You're an idiot for looking. Yeah, that's in the movies. Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, make the stupid face. Go ahead. But I'll be the one laughing when your sorry ass, who didn't prepare with precious metals, finds out, oh, man, did you see Wall Street today? Joe, man, whoa, the Saudis, man, holy crap, they're causing the market crash. And I'm going to say, come here. Get your ass over here right now, you freaking imbecile. We printed $900 billion, eight or 900 billion in TARP funds. Remember that one? TARP, Troubled Asset Relief Program. The Federal Reserve has a balance sheet of over $5 trillion. The United States debt in the last 8 years went from 10 trillion to almost now 20 trillion. Trillion. And the Saudis have a few hundred billion, 900 billion, whatever their actual total is. And that caused the market. Oh, markets didn't like that. The markets could not rebound from this. It's really, markets worldwide are not taking the news lightly. I can already hear the headlines in the back of my head. I can hear and see the headlines. The propaganda press will be pushing the story. Associated Press and Reuters will push it out, and every other mainstream media outlet in the world will do what they always do and repeat and regurgitate the press statement from AP and Reuters like they always do, because that's where it all comes from. Any major news comes from those sources. So even though you have all these supposed different choices of media, I heard on, it's one source that said it. It's one freaking source, essentially. Two, but that's the same story out of the two. It's one source. So if I'm sitting back here looking at all the crap that I've looked at, studying everything that I've studied over these years, and I see Congress do something that even God himself couldn't do, we came together to form a veto-proof vote. You mean to tell me you Democrats who wouldn't vote anything against Obama changed your mind on this one and went against him? Now, not all of them, because again, it was 77 of them didn't. And again, isn't that a fascinating number? Isn't that a fascinating number to hear the House? Speaking of sevens, Senate vote, 97-1. The House vote, 348 to 77. The airplane I showed you, 777. Shemitah cycle, cycles of 7. Super Shemitah cycle, 7 of the 7 cycles, 49-year cycle, which, by God, it was last year. A Super Shemitah, which ends this year with, again, the debt jubilee. And as I said before, I'll say it again. The club will get their debt jubilee. Their banking system, their financial system, the stuff they owe each other, it is going to blow up. It's going to implode. They'll get their debt jubilee. You, with your credit card debt, your auto loan, your mortgage, anything you have, credit, debt, student loan, you don't get debt jubilee, peasant. You are not part of the club. George Carlin. It's a big effing club, and you ain't in it. And by the way, I want to remind you of something that I can't remember if I said it, so maybe I'm not reminding you. George Carlin, new release, Amazon. There is something I heard very recently. Excuse me. And they said it's coming, I thought, to Amazon. And I want to say, I thought they said October, this year, 2016. George Carlin, you know, the late great comedian, the one I like to reference with that statement. It's a big effing club. He's dead now, of course. Just prior to 9/11, 2001, speaking of this 9/11 incident and all, he did a bit for an hour, you know, his shows. He did a comic bit that was about Osama bin Laden nonsense. Terror attack, blamed on Osama, right? He made a bit about it before the event happened. And they pulled it, like they did World Trade Center 7. They pulled it, and he agreed, yeah, I don't want to have my stuff out there when this event just happened. So it's never been known about for the last 15 years, 16 years actually. Never even been known about it. And I heard about the other day, they're going to release it now. Now that it's been 16 years and all that, they're going to release it. And I said, when I find out that it's released, I want to get it. So any of you out there that feel the same way, because I'm curious as to what he said in his little comic bit. Not to mention, I've seen all of them. I love George Carlin. And if there's an hour, even if I found out an hour-long show of his from 1999 or 2000 or whatever was coming out, had nothing to do with that 9/11 or anything, I'd like to have it because I really liked what he talked about. So any of you following this story with George Carlin, and you say, oh, I just heard it today, it's coming out like such and such date, and it'll be, when you hear that, send old J Snip for a message on realistnews.net, my website. Just hit the contact me or whatever, contact us button. In case I'm not, paying attention at the time, there's something else going on and my mind's elsewhere. So anyways, that's what this video is about. Timing is everything. Everything is planned. Nothing happens by chance. And I'm going to leave this video with, again, another favorite statement of mine from George Herbert Walker Bush, Papa Bush, said when he was being interviewed by some news lady. Do you watch the news? No, I never watch the news. You don't watch the news? No. How come? Because I already know what it's going to be. You think old Papa Bush knew that on 9/23 this vote would be passed and Obama was going to veto it, only to be undone next week, which is this week right now. As of Wednesday, it's done. They've already voted. It's over. Can't veto it. It's going into law. And Obama can tell Saudi guys, I know I bowed down, kissed your hands and all that stuff. By the way, thanks for that nice bling necklace you gave me, King. Appreciate that. But I tried. Congress, that old thing. I'd like to write an executive order, but it's not going to work. I'm on my way out anyways. That old chestnut. Nothing happens by chance. The question is, are we about to see an epic ending of this week, followed by a Monday of holy crap? Or are they going to push this along just a little bit longer? Just a little bit longer. Maybe they're realizing, well, we still might think we can get Hillary to win. Let's let the elections come in November. So let's push this out a month. Let Hillary get the nod, fake it through the voting machines. Then we'll let all hell break loose. She won't be in office yet. Obama's practically leaving office. As I said, they'll say no one's at fault. Obama held it together for 8 years. This event was caused by the Saudis. He even tried to veto it for the Saudis. Come on, you can't blame him. Well, who do we blame? You blame the Saudis. But hold on, we've printed $900 billion in TARP funds, $5 trillion balance sheet, $10 trillion in new debt. And our markets have been rallying. TARP funds, market rallies. $5 trillion balance sheet, Federal Reserve, markets rally. $10 trillion in new debt, markets rally. Saudi Arabia dumps $700 billion. Oh my God, Black Swan event, markets crashing, Deutsche Bank down, derivatives explode. I can't wait to see the news. I can't wait to see how they do this one. Sometimes I wonder, Will they really actually do it when they know there's so many of us out there talking about this stuff and saying, hey, we know you're going to do this? And we're telling all these subscribers and people, it's on the alternative media, websites, forums. I'm not the only one talking about this. There's a ton of people talking about this stuff for the same reason, saying practically the same thing I'm saying. Or at least some of what I'm saying, same point being made. And wouldn't it be nice to know that if they realize, as part of their esoteric view and occult view, if we tell the people what we're going to do before we do it to them, like in the movies and things like that, and then someone catches us before we do it, they figure it out, we have to relinquish it. We can't go through with it. Wouldn't that be interesting? All these plans, New World, that's canceled. This idiot named Jason before caught that one. Damn it, X that one out. Do that one up. This idiot called SGT Bull, he called that one, X that one out. X22 report, who the hell has a new one? Damn it. He caught us on that one. 1981 movie. Yes, damn it. X him out. Can't do that one. Shoot. Wouldn't that be fantastic? It would be. But that's fiction. I am peddling fiction right now. That's what Obama would say. Peddling, JSTEP 4, I approve this message. I am peddling fiction. Yes, I approve that message. They are going through with their plans. You can't keep kicking this debt can down the road. They've indebted all nations across the earth. They've dropped oil prices for the last couple of years now, which is squeezing the living crap out of any nation that produces oil. And they're going in further debt, further debt, further debt, hoping the prices will rise. We're going to cut back 500,000 barrels a day today. Yeah, we saw Saudi Arabia do that in 2008 in December, and it dropped $10 from 50 down to 40 in 2 weeks. Again, how? We set the price of a barrel of oil on our stock markets in America through pieces of paper called futures contracts. There's no oil backing any of them. It's just a piece of paper. So we put the paper price wherever we want. So no matter what you hear, pipeline explosion, prices rose $2 a barrel, means nothing. Saudi Arabia is cutting 500 barrels, means nothing. We set the price with paper, and it's on our market. It's our exchange. That's how we roll here. So whatever happens is pre-planned, pre-designed, textbook perfect as they want it, because the club always gets their way. As Lindsey Williams says, everything that they've ever told me has come true. They don't always get their way, he says, but most of the time, and everything that they told me they would do has actually happened. The only thing right now that hasn't, that he said in advance would happen, Egypt, give the Muslim Brotherhood. Yemen, give them the Muslim Brotherhood. That's going to fall. Libya, give them the Muslim Brotherhood. Followed by Syria, then Saudi Arabia. And this whole collapsing of Saudi Arabia, and then gas prices would skyrocket. He said because almost the same reason that we're seeing right now. They're going to threaten to sell their treasuries and all that crap. So, stay tuned is all I can say. We are at, or approaching so soon, it doesn't matter, the threshold of whatever the hell this is going to end up being. And the last two videos he was talking about, Lindsey Williams, he did mention October 1st. Get some stuff in order before October 1st. And I find this very interesting that this just passed. Now it's law. Are we going to find out that maybe tomorrow, the next day, Friday or Monday, Saudi Arabia, boom, we're making good on our threat. Have a nice day. Which would actually be good, because then every time Trump goes against Clinton, he's going to say, your buddies who have been paying you and Obama and all your friends, look what they just did. Even though it was planned and Saudi Arabia, didn't cause the market crash. Again, we could wipe $1 trillion off and like nothing even happened. But they'll make sure you don't know that, and you think what you're seeing today in the news, the market's blood red, is because of Saudi Arabia. But Trump can still use that to his advantage. Clinton, look what your buddies in Saudi Arabia are doing to the market. They're destroying the world markets right now because of what they've done. And we found that they were complicit in 9/11. These are the people that have been paying Hillary Clinton, and she's been taking them. She is finished. And I'm sure Trump's going to mention that, should this event happen right now. But if they save it till after the election, then you can't say that. And maybe they'll rig the voting machines that Clinton wins anyways. And even if they don't, and he somehow wins, he doesn't have to say that now. He already won. He doesn't have to throw Hillary under the bus anymore. Anyways, done talking. Let's see what happens. Take care.